Hey there, Bill. Are you using a computer? PC? And are you not seeing it in full screen? Uh-huh. No problem. No problem. Just testing out the room.
Harry Cock simulation word of the day. Can.
I want cock please.
Can.
Do you see a video?
Bottle? Can have a.
I cannot have.
No, I want can.
Can.
Coke can.
Cannot.
Coke cannot.
No, cook can.
But bottle?
Can.
Huh? Bottle or can?
Bottle can.
Bottle can, but cannot have. And coke can cannot.
Only bottle can. And coke cannot have because must pay first. So coke bottle can. Can or coke cannot. Can understand or not? Tell me what you want, can or not.
Give me table nga lah.
Bottle can ah. Okay, thank you. Harry Cock simulation word of the day. Can.
I want cock please.
Can.
Bottle? Can have a.
I cannot have.
No, I want can.
Can.
Coke can.
Cannot.
Coke cannot.
No, cook can.
But bottle?
Can.
Huh? Bottle or can?
Bottle can.
Bottle can, but cannot have. And coke can cannot.
Only bottle can. And coke cannot have because must pay first. So coke bottle can. Can or coke cannot. Can understand or not? Tell me what you want, can or not.
Give me table nga lah.
Bottle can ah. Okay, thank Harry Cock simulation word of the day. Can.
I want cock please.
Can.
Bottle? Can have a.
I cannot have.
No, I want can.
Can.
Coke can.
Cannot.
Coke cannot.
No, cook can.
But bottle?
Can.
Huh? Bottle or can?
Bottle can.
Bottle can, but cannot have. And coke can cannot.
Only bottle can. And coke cannot have because must pay first. So coke bottle can. Can or coke cannot. Can understand or not? Tell me what you want, can or not.
Give me table nga lah.
Bottle can ah. Okay, thank you. Harry Cox Malaysian word of the day. Can.
I want Coke, please.
Can.
Bottle? Can have a.
I cannot have.
No, I want can.
Can.
Coke can.
Cannot.
Coke cannot.
No, Coke can.
But bottle?
Can.
Huh? Bottle or can?
Like if we started terraforming the moon and making it nice and green, and we bring the rain and the water, get that water out of the ice caps and into the environment. And everything you can see here has been built using our IFX library. Okay, so that was a bit of a melodramatic example, but I put all this together this morning, and all the other content you're going to see today, I put it all together this morning. So I started at like about 9:30, and I just put it all together using our content tool. And what it's about is just making things easy for lecturers, business people, and anyone who wants to communicate and collaborate in the world. So our next section, okay, I'm just going to pause it here. So everything, this is playing as a lesson. But just to talk a little bit about my own experience. So I've worked in the games industry for 20 years, and I've worked on various consoles starting on the N64 up. And I've seen various different tools for creating content. And for the most part, I've worked creating content as an animator or creating actual whole cinematic scenes. So I'm very familiar with the tools that are available. But what really excites me about Engage and VR especially is this is the first time that we're really taking away so many barriers. With our motion capture system and avatars, you can start creating content so quickly, and you do not need to know any programming whatsoever, because that's always been the barrier. Often the people who enjoy perhaps the creative or performance side of art may not necessarily enjoy programming as well. And I have to be honest, I'm in that category myself. I've used little snippets of code when I absolutely have to, but I really, really don't like coding. But I love creating things. I love creating performances or animation or motion or data.
David, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't want to interrupt. There's people saying that they need a password now to get inside the room. I'm wondering if we're leaving a bunch of people out. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know in case you wanted to restart it.
Yeah. How can I change that? I don't think I put a password on the room.
Actually,
Start a normal room.
I thought I needed one, but then when I went back in the very last time, I didn't need one.
Okay, was that
So-
you?
No, I don't think that's
Okay,
possible
I'm
yet.
sorry. Please carry
Yeah.
on. That was
That's all
Cindy.
right.
Okay.
That's okay. That's fine. Anyway, come on in, everybody. We got some more people there. You're all welcome. So yeah, so basically that's what I was saying. So that's been my experience. Like in the games industry, there used to be so much friction and so much difficulty to get your content out there. But now it's just so easy to be able to create things, and it's real time. It's so fast. So let's go into some of the specifics of what we can actually create with the content creator. So what do I have here? I have some examples of the most basic IFX. So what are IFX? Well, we have someone here to help me out. Oh, hello, David James. How are you? Okay, he's also demonstrating something else we have. We have full body tracking. Look at that. If you have a Vive with trackers, okay, that's enough of that. Thank you very much. Okay, so now, could you introduce this, please?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'll leave it to him.
Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm going to go through a few of the most basic IFX we have.
So IFX is a category that has lots of different things inside it. And the presentation you just saw before was made from various different kinds of IFX. So let's start from the most basic ones. Here we have objects. And objects can be a piece of architecture, a table, furniture, any kind of object made out of polygons that you can imagine. You can even have animating objects like the chicken here. And you can use those in your scene, bring them in, you can pick them up and move them around while you're in the scene. So they're probably the most common variety of IFX you're going to be using. But we also have different kinds of things like media as well. For example, we had our little bit of dramatic music. I won't bother playing it for you again. But we also have audio IFX, so you can bring in sound effects or perhaps music or any other sort of audio material that you'd like to bring into your scene. Then the next category that we have here are effects. So for example, the rain that we saw just a moment ago was an IFX effect. And there's lots of different kind of effects that we can bring in. There's explosions and fire, wind, fog, those kind of things, all the atmospheric effects that you might expect. And then on to the next category here. And the next category is video. So video can be streamed from the web onto the many different kinds of screens we have here in Engage. For example, you can stream straight from YouTube onto the screen here, and you can place as many screens as you like. But not only that, we've got different kinds of screens too. We can also stream in 360 videos. So we have a special room called the 360 video room for showing that. And if you wanted to show some of that content, what you could do is move your session to the 360 room and then load up from your link. Playing media, such as streaming videos, is just as simple as copying the URL from the target site and then putting it into your object, and it'll load up. And then, let's see, the final section, okay? And the final section is recordings. And in fact, that's what I am. I'm a recording that I made before the lesson, and that's my bit. So I'm going to hand back over to David.
Oh, you're muted.
It's a simple introduction to the IFX that we use in Engage. So if we're making content, what is the most simple type of implementation of content that you might build? And the most simple kind of implementation would be a recording. So when we make a recording, it will record everything that's happening in the scene. For example, you can record yourself, the other people in the room, any media that you play onto the big screen, and any IFX or multimedia that you bring out as well. And they'll all get recorded into our special Engage recording file. But the really great thing about Engage recording files is that they are actually, you can edit them afterwards in the way that when you load them into the content editor, you can decide to turn different elements on and off. So say, for example, I'm just going to pause that there again. Say, for example, I made a recording where I bring out an IFX and start moving it around. This will all be recorded. And I could, for example, I could get the cow and I go do, move the cow along here. And then when I'm creating my lesson, I could load that recording and just turn my avatar off. And all the people would see is the cow walking across the stage. So it's really useful to quickly puppeteer objects or to just record your meetings as well. So this here, the basic lesson is what we would describe as this is probably what our users have been using Engage for most. They just have a normal session with their students. They'll all meet up and they'll have their meeting and they'll record it. And then if they want to make it available later on for the students, what they do is they make a lesson, they go to the content creator, make a lesson, and then they load that recording. And that recording will have everything that you've done in your previous lesson. And you can have it available for your students to come back and watch the lesson anytime they want. If anyone has questions at any point going through this, please stop me and jump in, because that's what we're all about for the workshop. Oh yeah, far away there, Clement.
Hi. My question is about the recording. Is the recording an IFX, or is the recording a video? I was thinking it was a video, but now I think it's an IFX.
No, see, that's the fantastic thing about our recordings. What the recording is, it's a special kind of file that has the audio streams that are recorded in the room, and then it has references to all the data that's being used. So it doesn't have the
Right.
data itself, and that's what makes these recording files so small. So it's really quick to upload to all the people in the room. So the only data that's going in is references to what's happening, and that will call the correct data out of our servers. So it's not just a normal video file. Like, say for example, if you played a YouTube video in your recording, what'll happen is when you replay that recording, it'll be exactly like the first time you played it. It'll call on YouTube, and then YouTube will stream the data in here.
I see.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
it's really good. It's really it's very flexible and a very light format, which is a good thing about it.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. All right. So I'm going to go on to the next part here. Let's have a look. I'm going to continue playing. So we've already used these tools to build all sorts of content. For example, we've partnered with Oxford University to make the Oxford Life Simulator, which is available to try out. I hope, I don't know, perhaps have any of you tried it out already?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, excellent. That's good to hear. And we've also done a series of lectures which will be coming out in the near future. I think a couple of them have already been published onto the content, onto the platform. And let's see, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit now. So what comes after the basic lesson? And I think I'll skip ahead. There we go. So have we all played with with IFX and snapshots?
I'm not
No?
sure snapshots. Can you explain that a little bit?
Brilliant. Okay, this is a perfect example. So let's all have a go with the IFX. So if everyone wants to, if you hold up your right hand, you'll see a button marked menu. Oh, there we go. We've got some pros in there. So so everybody feel free to go wild with as many IFX as you like. And what you do is if you look down at your hand, you'll see a menu button. And on the menu button, there is, okay, that's brilliant. There's an icon marked IFX, which is in the top middle row, and then you'll see a library of lots of different kind of creatures. Okay, I think we have plenty of IFX there for the moment, so I'll ask you to just hold off on creating any more. That's enough for now. So what snapshots are, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a snapshot now, and I'm going to call it demo. So I've got my menu open, and I'm going to save. And then I'm going to erase everyone's IFX. So there we go. Everything's erased. And what the snapshot is it's just like a bookmark. And if you go to your IFX menu, you won't see it because obviously you haven't made any yet. But I've created one. So if you click on the snapshot tab, I should have the demo that we just made. And you click load, and there you go. I'm able to call back all the information that we just put out there. So this can be really handy. For example, if you've got a particular lesson and you prepare these snapshots in advance, you can just pull them up very quickly, and you have all these nicely arranged IFX. But of course, yeah, it's also accessible via the content editor. So you could, for example, prepare a number of snapshots, and then when you're making your lesson, you can make them appear and disappear with our content editor, which is really like a kind of a video sequence editor. It has a timeline, and you're able to scrub back and forth in it. So let's go back to our main timeline and see what we have next. So yeah, so this is the example. So in the scene, you could either just drop in your snapshots, or you can drop in your individual effects. It's often very it's often a great time saver to group things as IFX separately outside the content editor. And then if you need to bring in lots of groups of IFX, you can bring those snapshots in and it'll go much faster. Like say, for example, if you were grouping lots of trees in the forest that I just showed you growing up here, that's one example where we made it a lot easier by using snapshots. Okay, so what's an enhanced lesson? So an enhanced lesson would be maybe you've given a lesson or a talk, and you have the recording of your avatar, like the one we showed earlier, and then you can spice it up and make it more interesting by adding in, for example, IFX appearing on cue, or video playing on the screen on cue, or any sort of interactive and media IFX. Okay, somebody jumped the gun there. Well, that was the next thing that we were going to talk about. so I was just about to ask for a volunteer. Let's see. Okay, we'll jump ahead again. Okay, here we go. So can we have a volunteer then? So this is the next level, triggers. So triggers are yet another kind of IFX. Oh, someone brave enough, if you want to volunteer, do you want to stand just in the middle there? Come on, Rex.
Rex.
Yeah, stand in the middle, and if you want to press the button. There we go. So what you've discovered was a trigger. Hang on, somebody's bringing IFX in here, are they? Okay, but yeah. So the way the trigger works, a trigger is one of our interactive objects. It is a kind of IFX, but it can be used to trigger other kinds of IFX. So it's an extra layer of complexity that we can add in. What happens what you do is in the content editor, you place down your trigger, and then connected to your trigger, you can trigger any sort of effect that you want to. So in this case, I made this button trigger an explosion effect and also a sound effect for the explosion. And so that's when Rex pressed the button, he experienced a nice explosion there. And I have some more buttons for everybody. There's one for everyone in the audience. So if you're brave enough, choose a button. There you go. Oh, nice Greek statue. Excellent. That one's some sinister laughter. Lovely. And bear. Wonderful. And what's behind door number 3? Oh, we had a little explosion as well. Okay, so you can see
Dave,
that.
I know this is a stupid question, but how do I make it? How do I touch it? Like,
so you point your controller. Oh, now this is a very important point. The IFX will only be interactive as long as the scene is playing. So I've paused the scene at the moment, so none of the IFX are going to work. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll jump back. I'm going to jump back a little bit, and I'll press play again. So that'll reset them. There we go. We've had that one. Thank you very much. And the way that you trigger a button is you point your hand towards the button, okay, and then pull the trigger, and you should see a line going into the. There you go. You triggered it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you can also make it more, like say one way you could make it more obvious that it's being triggered. I'll just pause those again. One way you could make it more obvious that it's being triggered is you could hook your sound effect to the trigger. So when you press that trigger, you hear a click or a bleep or a bloop sound. That would probably make it easier for people to understand.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Thank you.
And you're welcome. You're very welcome. And that's a slightly more kind of complex usage of the trigger. So let's keep on going and see what we have next. Okay, that creepy laughter scaring me now. Okay, so here we are. So I'll ask everyone. Oh, by the way, we've got lots of different options. So you may realize, but that laughter is still there. That's so scary. Okay, here we go. I cleared away the scary laughter. So you may realize that these buttons here, if you try and press them, they're not going to work for you because everything in Engage is networked, but the host can also decide what gets networked and what doesn't get networked. And in this example, I made these buttons so that I should be able to trigger them. Hang on, are you able to press it as well? I didn't. There you go. And what I've done is I've made like a video jukebox using the interactive triggers. Let's see, we go to dogs, cats, and then penguins. There we go, penguins.
Penguins looking.
So there we go. That is an example. I'm going to jump back to get my diagram back up, and then I'm going to pause it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pause this now so they won't be interactive anymore. But this is how I've structured this part of the lesson. So what I put down 3 interactive objects. And if you look at the top, along where it says the trigger buttons, during this whole period of time, which is actually 700 seconds to 900 seconds, I've put the buttons so they're present the whole time. And then once you've placed an interactive object or a trigger into the timeline, you can hook any other IFX onto it. And what I did in this case was we have another type of IFX, which is called actions. Now I'm just going to bring up a little IFX that I have here. And actions are one of the more high-level IFX that we have. So I left this out of the earlier description because I wanted to keep the first introduction of IFX to the most simple ones. But what actions are simple scripts that can do lots of different functions inside Engage. So for example, we have one action that will fade down to black and fade up again. Or we have another action which makes the timeline jump to a certain point, and that's called skip to. So what I've done for this example is I've used the skip to script, and I've attached it to each of these buttons. And then in my timeline that I'm making for the video jukebox, I just place the videos one after another. So video 1, penguins, video 2, cats, and video 3, dogs. And what's happening is when the players click on the button, it triggers the action that makes it skip to the correct frame, and then it'll start playing the correct video. And if we let it run, say for example you watch the dogs video and it's completed, it would keep playing and it would go on to the next video in the timeline. So that's one way that we can use the interactive objects to try and create something a bit more complex. Was there any questions at all about that?
It's very cool.
Thank you. So actually, since this is a workshop, we really want to try out some examples, and I'm going to bring us to a new location. I'm going to show you an example of some of the experimental stuff that we're doing right now. It hasn't been published on the platform, but hopefully you'll find it interesting. So the next one is for language learning, and it's testing out the idea of interactive IFX. And the objects that you'll find in the room, some of them are interactive, and when you pick them up, you'll hear audio and get feedback. And this is for a language learning example. So it's going to take a little while to load because it's new data on all your headsets, but I'll see you on the other side when it loads up, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So here we go. Hey, there you are. Okay, so I'm going to start this piece of media now. So this is, I'll let our host explain.
Hola, welcome to our Spanish kitchen. You can learn vocabulary by picking up the objects. Enjoy exploring, and when you are ready, you can take the quiz.
Hola.
So there we go. So that was a little recording made with our avatar system. If you try picking things
Repollo.
up, repollo, there you go. That must be cabbage. Now, not all the objects have media attached to them, but these objects are physics objects or interactive IFX.
Broccoli.
Broccoli. There we go. That one's a bit easier.
Bol.
Should be able to pick it up.
Zanahorias. Naranja.
Naranja. There we go. Orange.
Broccoli. Zanahorias. Zanahorias.
So this lesson was put
Broccoli.
together using our content editor, and we just recorded some audio clips
Broccoli.
and associated them with the objects, and they're freely placed in the room. But the
Broccoli.
nice thing is, it doesn't just have to be like media clips. You can
Plátano.
also
Broccoli.
do more complex things. So we have a system inside Engage for giving quizzes to your students, and what we've done here is you can see up on the wall. We have two options. We've got reset room, and that'll bring us back to the start, and we'll get our little spiel again. But we've also got the quiz. So if you want to take the quiz and see how your Spanish has progressed after experiencing all the different types of
Vino.
things in it. Vino. Oh, he's on the vino. Fantastic. But yeah, so you can just click on the quiz, and it'll trigger the quiz. So I'm going to have a go here.
Vino.
So I'd love to ask about yourselves. So what kind of content are you interested in making for Engage?
In fact, language is really interesting. I've just
All right.
started new technology with teaching language.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
This would be
And-
brilliant.
And Rex, how about yourself?
I think it'd be cool to train people how to operate a farm, and then like maybe a vertical farm, and then let them in the future when we have avatars, let people like take turns logging into the avatar that's on site at the farm and like running the farm, and then they can log out, and the avatar sits there in the corner and waits for someone else to log in and run the farm.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. I'm very interested in using the training tools for practical training. Like I think one of the next things that we're going to be doing, we've got a new version of the editor coming out, and that's going to be fully networked, and it's going to have a visual timeline. So it's going to look exactly like video editing controls. But the great thing about it is it's going to be fully networked. So you could have multiple people collaborating together to build content. So that is what I'm really, really excited about.
That is really cool.
But I love that idea. Maybe we'll jump to another room, and I'll show you an example of some other content that we were working on. Let's switch to another location. There, back on the vino.
How's that run, guys? It was good to meet you all.
Yeah, thanks very much for coming.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rex. It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Stacy, right? Christy?
Cindy. Yeah.
Cindy. Some of the
That's
letters
okay.
are correct. Okay, bye now.
See you now.
Vino.
Okay, let's see. I've got so many categories. Content team, and okay, here we go. This will take a little while to load. I'll see you there. So welcome to the Japanese room. This is going to be a room that's available. If one of you want to jump into the seat there, I'm afraid we only have 3 blackboards available. But Clement, you were saying you're interested in language learning, and
Yes, that's right.
this room is designed specifically for language learning. So, does anyone here speak Japanese?
A little bit.
A
I
little bit.
wish I did.
ちょっと日本語話せる？よかった。この部屋でちょっと日本語の勉強しましょう。これのためにデザインされています。So, what I'm saying is, this room is designed to learn Japanese. Now, even if you haven't got any Japanese at all, I'll promise you that you're going to learn 3 kanji in 3 minutes. So, this is really easy. So, you've got your little drawing boards in front of you there. If you try out your drawing board, you use your trigger and you can place your hand near the board. It can be your left hand or right hand. And then you can start drawing. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to draw the kanji, and then you can try practicing yourself on the board as well. So here we go. Here's your very first one. It's so simple. 1 stroke horizontally across. There you go. 1. That's ichi. You can't get much easier than that. And if you want to erase the writing on the board, if you put your hand near the board, you'll see there's a delete button as well. It's context sensitive, so you have to put your hand up close to it. So there we go. That is the first one. And I'm going to delete that. I'll just write it up here. And then let's go on to our second kanji. It is 2 horizontal strokes, and the upper one's slightly larger. And that is the number 2. So ni. Fantastic.
Oh, dang it.
Let's have a look. Oh, very nice.
I'm having problems drawing on mine. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, okay. Have another go there. Hold up. Yeah, if you want to just hold up your hand and delete.
I
Yeah.
don't see a delete button either.
No, actually, I think this board, this is an experimental room. We haven't published it yet for a reason, so I think you've just found something that I'm going to have a look at later. So I'm sorry about that. Oh, look at that. We've got an expert here. So we'll do one more kanji then. So the reason this room was designed specifically for Japanese learning is we've created a landscape that looks like the kanji. So kanji came from the ancient Chinese pictographic writing system. Originally, the kanji were images of everyday things. So if you take a look out the window here, you'll see the mountains. And if we drew like a really rough picture of the mountains, it'd be something like this. There you go, that's mountains. Well, over time, that got simplified, and it turned into this. So it's just 3 verticals, and the center one is largest, and then a stroke along the bottom. And that's the kanji for mountain there. But of course, there's a lot of rules as well to learning and practicing kanji. So originally the kanji would have been drawn with an ink brush, and there's a very specific flow. To get a nice, pleasing image, they usually, I think it's top to bottom and left to right is the correct order that you're supposed to draw the strokes for your kanji. Now, a real Japanese person seeing me drawing here would be aghast, because the order of my strokes is all over the place. And that order is called the kakijun. But unfortunately, my kakijun is terrible. But it's just as a taster anyway. But so this is another example of a way that we're creating and using content on the platform.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
This
Thank
is
you
really
very much.
awesome. Yeah.
So yeah,
is there a way to erase part of the writing, or does it
Yeah.
erase everything?
So if you put your hand close to the board there,
Okay.
you'll see one of the 4 colors will be highlighted.
Yes, that's right.
So which color is highlighted at the moment?
Red.
Red. Okay, so if you move your thumbstick to switch it to a different color, then the delete button will delete that specific
Just the
color.
color. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
excellent. Excellent. That's beautiful, Cindy. Excellent.
Thank you.
So, so we strayed into a little bit of a Japanese lesson there, but if you look at the window as well, this is our simulated rice field, and the rice field also is very similar to what you can see out there. Let's draw it. So this is the kanji for rice field. Again, my kakijun is all over the place, but it's a box with a cross in the middle. And if you look out the window there, that's exactly what our rice field looks like as well. And then out this other window here, if you look outside, we have a river. I'm just going to erase my red marks. There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, beautiful. Excellent. I have a feeling that Clement, you know a bit more than a little Japanese.
Nihongo Benkyou shimashita.
There we go. There we go. But it's really good fun because I previously lived and worked in Japan, and one of the really great experiences that I had was getting to be a foreign exchange student. So I actually studied in university there, and I really, really valued that experience. But at the same time, I knew it was a very rare experience in terms of the amount of people that can actually afford to go and study abroad is actually very small. And we're very privileged in Europe and other developed countries if we can access that kind of third level education. So really, that's the main purpose behind Engage, is to make education accessible to everyone who can get onto the platform. And that's really the hope of everything we're building here. So yeah.
And I can definitely see that. I mean, just people. Can I ask where everybody else is from? Is that too confidential to ask?
Well, it's up to everyone. Yeah, it's up to yourselves there. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm from Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
How about you, Tom?
Arizona.
Arizona? Bill?
Bill's on mute, maybe. We can't hear you there,
okay.
Bill.
All
That's
right.
okay. Oh, we can hear you now,
Yes.
Bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, thanks. I was just, the idea that we're all from all these places and you're teaching us right now. It's the same thing with students. So this is great.
Yeah. And for myself, I'm from Dublin in Ireland, but right now I'm in the Waterford office, our head office for immersive VR education. And so as I was saying, I was previously based in Japan, and I was working in the games industry there. So it's really great to be able to come back home to my home country and work on a project that I'm really enthusiastic about.
David,
you do a great job for presenting.
Yeah. Great. I have to leave now, but thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Ron. It was lovely to have you. We're delighted to have you in the workshop.
Bye, Ron.
So for the rest of the time in the workshop, if there's any particular ideas or content that you'd like to work on, we can actually go into the content editor and I can try and build up some quick prototypes if you're interested in that, or if you have any other questions at all that you want to chat about.
Dave, one of the things that one of my teachers wants to do, he's a criminal justice teacher.
Oh,
and so he wants to have like a crime scene constructed and then either have the students go in and analyze it, or like a quiz idea where there's certain things and they would have to pick, what tools or whatever kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, that's a wonderful example. In that case, what I would recommend is, let's see, we do have some extra IFX that isn't available to the public, but if it's something that is specifically required for the pro users, we often try and root out content that would work for them. But let's have a look. I might have something that would be appropriate. I have something here, but what he can do is, if he can create a quiz in the web portal, or he can do it inside Engage, and then he could, using the content tool, he can show some content. So I have a menu up in front of me here. Let's see. We have so many groups here now. I'm trying to find the right one. Okay. Uh-huh. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
it's a common request that we've had.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go into the content, and so I'm gonna see if I can pull up an IFX. That is it's a very important thing, and it's often it's one of the highest requested things we have from police services, actually, because they use 3D scanning technology to make a photogrammetry scan of the location of the crime, and then afterwards they want to be able to view it here. And that is something that will be available very soon. So one of the features that we're working on right now is the self-upload feature. And in that case, all you'd have to do is if you have your data in FBX format, you just upload it to your account, and then it'll be accessible as an IFX. And what you do is you go to one of the empty locations and then just place the IFX, and you can walk around it and walk inside it as much as you want to examine the scene. So that would be one way if you're just reviewing data. Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm going to search here. No, I don't. I think the police I have police related IFX, but obviously they're not available in this location here. So
that's okay. That's okay. That's just an example.
Yeah, it was a bit scary anyway. I have to be honest. Body bags and chalk outlines and all that. But very necessary. Yeah, Clement.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you, David. This was an awesome workshop, and it's nice seeing everybody. Sorry I have to go, but thank you again. This is so awesome.
Not at all, Clement. You're welcome back anytime. And I wanted to say as well, every week we do onboarding sessions, and they're a weekly common event. So you're always welcome to come in and ask any questions there if you're interested in learning more about the Engage platform.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Clement.
Thank you.
See you now.
Have a look at the writing on my board.
Oh.
Oh, Engage. What'd you say there?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Engage die rocks. Arigato gozaimasu.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
well, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming along today. Oh, we have a new member there. But there we go. Hi, Richard.